Updates left, right, up and down for all your favorite sims. Find out which sims have been updated right here, right now. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to roundup.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to our news roundup, where we tell you all that's new in the world of sim racing, racing games and anything of interest to petrolheads in all things digital. Serta here speaking. If you have any news for us, be it a sim racing league, a different sim racing event, or any other news that you think fit here, send us a mail to news@romrom.net. That's news@romrom.net. It is the season for updates. We're gonna tell you about updates for Automobilista 2, Raceroom Racing Experience, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Kartkraft, and okay, I'm cheating, a news update regarding F1 2020. Hey, 4 out of 5 ain't bad. Remember, if you want to be informed about new videos, click subscribe and also click on the bell and become part of the ever-growing RomRom family. Race has added extra layouts to Snetterton, Velocità and Interlagos and improved graphics for Interlagos Historic, Alton Park, Spielberg, Brands Hatch, Imola, Golania, Jerez and Snetterton, and updated the trackside cameras of Kansai. They've also implemented a first version of photo mode and different slight corrections in the UI. They've also done different small changes to the physics, although I must say force feedback is still off for me, sorry to say, even after working for an hour and a half to find the sweet spot, which I did not. Added to that, they've done lots of different improvements on the cars, mostly liveries, but also technical and graphical details. They have also explained their early access roadmap. The early access phase is definitely going to be until the end of May and even a little bit further, and even after the 1.0 release, they are going to continue tinkering with Automobilista 2. Hey, it's Razer after all. They tinkered with Automobilista 1 even after they officially closed development on it. From now on, they will release weekly updates to Automobilista 2 at least until the 1.0 version. The beta will be updated on Wednesdays or Thursdays, the non-beta version on Fridays or Saturdays. What can you expect them to finish until the 1.0? Of course, the two game mods that are still not implemented, Time Trial and Championship, but they have made clear that Championship will be limited to official series, which would be Stock Car Brazil, Copa Track, Formula V and Sprint Race. They are also working on a custom championship system, but they don't promise to have it finished before the 1.0. They've also made clear that they are working on a career mode, but it's a long-term project, nothing that we will be seeing in the next weeks or even months. Another thing they want to have finished until the end of the early access is a multiplayer rating system and a dedicated server tool. Also, there are a couple of things that the sim for now doesn't have, like DRS, curse, push to pass, or the Copa Track speed trap, which you may know if you've played Automobilista 1. They have also announced that more series are gonna be added before the end of early access, the Opala stock cars, the Omega stock cars and the Copa Montana, but it seems that the Stadium Super Tracks are not gonna be part of it. What a pity, I like them so much. Expect also, and I quote, 4 more unique classes with at least 10 new car models, but they are not promising anything. They plan to have it ready on early access or shortly after. They're gonna add Kyalami and Estoril in a 2020 configuration. And let's not forget that Automobilista always had cards and Automobilista 2 does have them too, so it should not be a surprise that we're gonna see Interlagos 2020 and Granja Viana 2020 as kart tracks. With regards to UI, they're gonna put a saved replay page, a driver profile page and a force feedback multiplier per car in the setup page, and that last one is needed because there's a big difference in the force feedback depending on car and track combination. With regards to the HUD, they're gonna make it customizable, they're gonna put a telemetry HUD page, and they're gonna show input and force feedback meters in the HUD, which is a very good idea. Also, until the end of early access, they're gonna update shaders and textures, 3D animations, cinematics, trackside ads, and they're gonna add driver names and liveries. They even want to update the, in my opinion, very good audio with refinements here and there. Clearly, they are listening to the community as they're gonna update physics and force feedback until the early access and further, and this is something that this sim clearly needs. Remember the issue I had that the tracks always hit the side of the garage? They are working on it and other smaller issues. And until the 1.0, they're gonna add localization for French, German, Spanish and Portuguese, the last one being quite easy for them, and after the 1.0 release they're gonna continue with Italian and Chinese. This is a roadmap, things are prone to change, but I take it as a promise from Razer that they are not gonna go out of early access before these things are not added. As I've been saying time and time again, this is Razer, this team is committed to sim racing. There's been a couple of updates of R3E this month, which ended with a hotfix last night called "This is why you never deploy on a Friday." Mate, I feel your pain. I never set up a release later than Wednesday. Anyway, here's what has been changed. You can set minimum requirements in rating and safety for your own server, and as a user you can use a filter on R3E to only find such servers. You can export and import server settings, and there's been some tweaks in the way Raceroom handles different wheels. The developers have done improvements on AI behavior and small corrections in the sound design. Also, a lot of improvements to the behavior of tires when they're not on the tarmac, and changes in up and down shifts with regards to the rev behavior of the motors. They've also changed the collision behavior, and many tweaks and changes in sound physics and behavior of many of the cars, and also some tweaks to tracks like Ningbo, Imola or Bathurst, to name a few. Another sim that has seen a big update is Assetto Corsa Competizione. First of all, they have added the 2020 liveries as a bonus, they have fixed race flags, fixed missing puncture state, and they have implemented that the cars are ghosted during the formation lap, also in single player. They have corrected many issues in replays and many HUD and UI changes. The delta timer will now reset to the stint best, which I like. The fuel widget will show now fuel per lap, and when you're checking a car in the showroom you will be able to switch to a camera inside of the car. Also, on the matter of graphics and HUD, you can now hide the HUD. Lots of physics updates. They have implemented new suspension bump stop calculation, so maybe you want to check your saved setups. They have fine-tuned the behavior on wet surfaces, and if you push your tires way over their peak for a while, they're gonna suffer more than they did until now, which makes it more realistic. Oh yeah, they've also done some multiplayer and audio fixes. Wednesday saw a long-awaited update of our favorite kart simulator on VR. You will now be able to race multiplayer within a scheduled matchmaking system on servers provided by the Kartkraft developers that hopefully are not only based in Australia. If you want to be part of the multiplayer experience, you should register in the in-game form and confirm your email address. They have also added the classic PF International layout from the 90s, where such unknown pilots as Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button and Paul Di Resta drove on. The trackside cameras will now try to anticipate the target's position, giving the images more of a real-life camera broadcast feeling, or so we hope. They have also fixed the collision for all vehicles, curbs can now be ridden with confidence, they say, and done many other most graphical changes. The 10th of July will see the release of this year's F1 game by Codemasters for PS4, Xbox and PC, including a Michael Schumacher special edition with exclusive content that you will get 3 days earlier. Those buying the Schumacher edition will be able to drive the Jordan 191 Michael drove for one race, as well as the Benetton's B194 and B195 and the Ferrari F1 2000. New features in F1 2020 include an 11th team that you can make yours, including managing the team. You will also be able to play against anybody on the same system via split screen. And hey, we will be able to race Hanoi and Zandvoort sooner than the real-life pilots, it seems. Or you check the Hanoi track mod for Assetto Corsa, link to the video app and to the right. We not only talk about the Hanoi mod for Assetto Corsa, there's more videos sharing the joy of sim racing at our channel, so check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until the next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium.
Visit romrom.net to connect to fellow sim racers and sim racing fans.